What's up, Leafs fans? Welcome to Leafs Digest. Thank you guys for all the support thus far on this channel. As you guys know, Josh and I are on the road to 1,000 subscribers. So every single subscriber along the way here counts. I'm jumping on this one early in the video because I want to get right to it. I want to dive right into what happened over this weekend. Leafs wrap up final preseason play. And some big news today coming out of the depth of this Toronto Maple Leafs team. We'll touch on that in a second here. But most importantly, I want to remind you guys, the most important thing you can do to help Josh and I out with this channel here is subscribe. If you like the content that we're bringing to you guys, you like our breakdowns, you like our analysis, you like just the garbage that we talk on here about whether or not they should keep certain guys or which guys are going to slide into lineups, make sure you subscribe to this channel. We appreciate all the support we've gotten along the way. We can't thank you guys enough. So make sure, if you're not subscribing right now, on your way out, after you've liked, after you've commented, after you've shared this video with your friends on your Twitter pages, your Facebook, and you've sparked discussion everywhere else, make sure that one of the final things that you do, the most important thing that you do, is subscribe to this channel and tell everyone else to subscribe to this channel as well. We are on the hunt for 1,000 subscribers. We're quickly nearing that. We're trying to get there as fast as we can. Regular season's right around this corner. We're trying to bring the best content that we can possibly bring, and that 1,000 subscribers will help us even more so. So we thank you guys for doing that. Let's get right into this one. Regular season is about to start. Our first game will be played on Wednesday, and we are getting to the point of needing our final roster announced. So with that comes the news of obviously following Ilya Mikheyev's injury, the roster decisions become a little bit easier because you don't have to send as many guys down. It ultimately came down to spots between Michael Amadio and Adam Brooks here for this final position. Now, Adam Brooks has kind of become a guy that Leafs fans here have begun to love over the last season because him hopping in with that line on that line with Spezza, I think really adds to it because Spezza's already a lovable guy. He slid in there with Spezza and Thornton for a little bit, Spezza and Simmons, and then those are already guys that Toronto sports fans, Toronto Maple Leafs fans in particular, tended to, I guess, gravitate towards. We love those guys. We love seeing them out there. We love seeing them have success. Who doesn't love seeing Jason Spezza score goals and be one of the big leaders on this team? A guy from Toronto who ended up playing in Ottawa for most of his career, but you can just tell how great of a guy he is. And then a guy like Adam Brooks gets to slide into his line as a first-year player, and he has success playing alongside him. It's a story you can root for. But it's not all about stories. It's not all about feeling good in the NHL, and decisions have to be made. So with that being said, today it was announced that the Montreal Canadiens have claimed Adam Brooks off of waivers from the Toronto Maple Leafs, ending Adam Brooks' tenure as a Toronto Maple Leaf. It's pretty unfortunate, but it does lead us to the spot of diving into who did they keep instead, and why do we think they kept that guy? So the easy answer here right away is Michael Amadio. I touched on it earlier as he's the guy that he was up against in that position of who's going to grab that spot, Brooks or Amadio. It ends up being Amadio. One of the important things to look at here, I think, is that these guys are both 25 years old. Michael Amadio was born a week later than Adam Brooks. He was born 1 week later. He's 1 week younger than Adam Brooks. And he has played in 155 more NHL games than Adam Brooks. Regardless of the production that he's had in that time, regardless of what teams he was playing for when he played those games, 155 NHL games more is a significant amount of more experience than someone else. And I know that that's such a blanket statement to say, oh, that's a lot more experience. Well, whoop-de-doo, it's a big number. But when you're going into a situation where you're going to be a depth guy and you're going to be called upon to be in and out of lineups, you're going to be called upon to be reliable in terms of understanding game plans, strategy, being ready to go right before a game because a guy goes down with an injury or a guy's game time decision, and you have to hop in there for him. Maybe you take the pregame skate. Michael Amadio is used to being around the NHL. He's used to being a professional hockey player, and he's definitely used to that role of, I'm the game time guy because I'm going in there if someone else isn't ready to go. And maybe that's not the role that he's played 100% of the time that he's been in the NHL, but he's had to go through that experience. And when you're looking for a team to win a Stanley Cup, you can't waste time on guys who may or may not be ready on a nightly basis, or may or may not be used to the programming, the regular schedule, the rotation. Now we're hopping back into a regular full season, an 82-game season. We're traveling around the NHL again. This is not an experience that Adam Brooks has had so far in his career. And yeah, it would be nice to be like, okay, Adam, hop on with us and we'll give you that experience. But we just don't really have the time and the money to hold on to a guy like that in these situations and keep him around just to hope that maybe he can figure it out along the way. The coaching staff obviously saw what they liked in each guy, but then when it comes down to it, if you can basically blank them out and say what they do on the ice is a wash, what we see their potential as is a wash, but one guy has a lot more potential than the other guy in terms of he's been around this league and we know that he has the potential of being a better professional or being more useful or more effective, more efficient, whatever the word is you want to use to describe it, in this time that we have to call upon him to be a role guy, because let's be honest, he's not going to be a guy that's in this lineup every single night. Even with Mikheyev's injury, I still can't see him sliding into this top four lines on a regular basis. I think he's a guy who gets called upon when need be. I would imagine Pierre Engvall is ahead of him in this roster, in this rotation, and we see him scoring goals. It's going to push that coaching staff push him up ahead of Amadio in the eyes of the coaching staff. He's going to be a more favorable player. So Amadio is going to slide down anyways. So now again, it goes back to the fact of this guy's been around the league for a long time. He knows how to play the NHL game. He's accustomed to it. And more than just playing on the ice, he's accustomed to being a pro. He's accustomed to the travel, the meals, the practice, the pre-game preparation, whatever it is. Amadio has been there, done that in the NHL. And I know there's things you can say about Adam Brooks as to why he hasn't played those NHL games that Amadio has, but even when you go down to their second tier of professional, when they've both been playing in the NHL or the AHL, Adam Brooks has played 164 games played, Amadio 130 in the AHL. Like, he's only played 30 less games in the AHL than Adam Brooks, so it's not like you can say, oh well, Brooks was buried in the minors for so much longer because the Leafs had so much depth, or et cetera, et cetera. There was injuries, blah, blah, blah. Don't want to hear it, because the thing is, Amadio made the jump to professional hockey a lot earlier in his career than Adam Brooks did. And I understand that some guys are late bloomers. It's the way it is, and you can't get around that. But we can't wait around for late bloomers. And I think that's the biggest thing to take away from this at this point in time, is that we can't wait around. We are not in a position as Leafs fans, as organization, as management, to wait around and see what guys will become. We are in win now mode. The most important thing Leafs fans have to remember here when each of these moves gets made is that this team is looking to win right now. Kyle Dubas, Brendan Shanahan, they're the heads of this operation, and they know their clock is ticking. Their lifespan may be short here in Toronto if they can't turn this ship around and start to have some playoff success. So they're not worried, and they're not concerning themselves about, can this guy pan out in the future? Can he bring something to us later on? We know Michael Amadio is a professional. 173 games played in the NHL, 16 goals, 24 assists, 40 points. They're not stats that blow you away, but he's also a guy 6'2", 205 pounds compared to Adam Brooks, who's 5'10", 180 pounds. With a team that's looking to be a little more physical, a little bigger, and a little more difficult to play against, Amadio probably slides into that role a little bit easier, honestly. And you can't look at them and say, oh my God, Brooks was so much faster, because he wasn't necessarily. It's not like we can break this down and say one guy's so much faster, one guy shot so much better, one guy hits so much more. They're relatively equal. We've seen more professional games from Michael Amadio, and ultimately I think this is what leads to the decision. And the other thing is, like, Sheldon Keefe even himself said that he noted Amadio has significantly more experience in the NHL. That kind of leads into the decision making there. These guys are on similar contracts, same age, 1 week apart. One guy's a left-handed shot, one guy's a right hand. They can both play center. Amadio can play the wing. Brooks wasn't as common on the wing, so it opens up a little more flexibility with Amadio there. And again, just being around the league. This is a guy who knows how to play in the NHL, how to be a pro. Ultimately, I think that's what leads into this decision here. Leafs fans, I know we're upset about Adam Brooks moving on from this team, being claimed off waivers, especially by the Montreal Canadiens. Screw those guys. There's no other way to put it. This is a team, their fan base, they're all going to jump in these comments and start wah. But all they did was say how much the Leafs don't have depth. Everyone around the league wants to look and say, Leafs don't have depth. They don't have this. They don't have that. Oh, they're screwed if someone gets injured. Well, guess what? We're placing guys on waivers, and your team is picking our guys up. So who doesn't have depth? Really? Who's the team looking for depth when your team is out here picking up our guys off waivers? So Habs fans, come at me in the comments. I want to hear it. Leafs fans, let me know how we feel about Adam Brooks being claimed off of waivers from this team, especially to a team like Montreal. Do we think Amadio can replace Adam Brooks? Do we think he'll be a significant upgrade, a decrease in performance on this Leafs team? Is he going to be neutral? Is he going to have any kind of impact on this roster or on this team as this season moves forward? Let me know in the comments. And then after you've done that, after you've liked this video, the most important thing you can do on your way out, subscribe to this channel. Leafs fans, we'll have one more video up before the season starts on Wednesday night. Stay tuned. And again, if you want to watch that video tomorrow, you want to know when it's out, subscribe to this channel. So Leafs fans, we'll see you then. Keep believing.